Hi, and welcome to You're Not Allowed to Say the S Word, a Heartstopper across Young Royals podcast. I'm the host Luke, and I'm joined by the yellow and blue crew. Indigo Jackson, what's good in your life?
Oh, not much, love. I fell down the stairs at work.
You fell down the stairs again.
What do you mean again?
Not that long ago you fell down your stairs in your flat.
Oh my gosh, yes, you're right. No, I went completely arse over tit while hoovering the pub and fell down an entire flight of stairs.
Okay.
The thud that I thudded in that old building. It was literally, if I wasn't so shocked, I would have laughed because all I heard was, oof. I went to the hospital the next day because my foot really hurt.
Oh.
But nothing's broken. It's just like the bottom of my foot is bruised. The bottom of my foot.
The bit you walk on?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So I've been hobbling around everywhere.
That's not at all funny.
No, it's hilarious.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I can laugh about it. It's just annoying because I haven't had a day off since. So I'm walking around on it constantly.
Have a day off.
Well, I can't afford to, unfortunately.
Have a day off.
I'd love to. And tickets for my show go on sale a week today. Which is exciting. That's been my week.
Okay. My week's been an emotional one.
Aww.
Yeah. I thought, well, okay, hold on. Hold up now. If I've done my maths correctly... Yeah, okay, so we know at this point that I didn't do the maths correctly. Let's just pretend I said all of this last week, okay? Just pretend. When this goes out, it's Heartstopper Forever Week. That's exciting.
It's very exciting. That reminds me, actually, I've started rewatching it.
Well, this is why I've had an emotional week.
Yeah. But I've been watching it with my co-director for the summer showcase because she's never seen it.
No.
I know. So I can vicariously live through her first experience.
Yes.
And it's making... I've been crying at every single episode.
Yes.
Which I never did, not even the first time I watched it. But something about watching someone else watch it and do those same reactions that I did.
How far through are you?
4 episodes in.
I'm 5 episodes in.
Yeah. I keep saying, so when are you coming back over so we can carry on watching?
Yeah, I've been doing that, and also I've been going back over the pod episodes for editing purposes so I can get them back where they all need to be. And so there are a lot of emotions just listening back to the early days of the pod, you know, the whole crew, the 6 of us, Guy, just how much we've changed, how much we've grown, how much we've ruined each other in that time. But also then all the conversations we had about the show then, and then I was like, between that and the fact that Forever's coming up and I've been avoiding that trailer like the plague because I just can't deal with it. I've been like, oh, I need to rewatch it, and then thinking about rewatching it whilst listening to the episodes has made me feel emotional, and then I put it on, and as soon as that opening sequence started, I was gone. I was just gone.
Yeah. It's become such a nostalgia thing now as well.
It's just
got
everything.
That layer added.
It's just everything.
Yeah.
It's just everything, and I can't cope.
And now I'm not ready for it to end.
I'm so not ready for it to end. And I've also been laughing even more at like the funny thing. I think I'm just overwhelmed by the emotion of it all.
Yeah.
What is a thing that happened that made me really laugh? I can't remember. Good story.
Great.
Maybe episode 4 or 5, something that made me really laugh.
I've really been enjoying my co-director hating on Imogen. She is a bit insufferable at first.
Fire.
No, it's valid. It was the begging, the begging begging Nick to ask her to go to Harry's party. And then when he does, she goes, "Oh, yeah, definitely," as if he didn't just beg for the last 5 minutes. Yeah. She just went.
Like she was
weird.
Like she was so taken by surprise. Oh God, I hadn't even thought of it actually. Oh, it's great. I love it. So I've been watching that, ready for Forever to come out. I don't know how I'm going to cope when I get to season 3.
I'm not thinking about that right now. Need to get through season 1 and 2 first.
The beach, my vine. Wrap around me, my vine.
Although I have already obviously watched If You Wanna Dance in the snow scene.
Yes, and why am I like this? Why am I like this?
Although I realise how absurd that snow scene is in the build-up, because when Charlie arrives to the house, the sun is shining. It's a hot day. And then it's suddenly drenched in snow 10 minutes later.
It can be sunny and it snows.
Not
and
that
also,
far.
it's England.
Exactly. One thing we do not get is snow. And especially not deep snow in 10 minutes.
No.
I did think, damn, I never noticed that until now, because we've seen it too many times.
Yeah, I mean, there's loads of stuff, but we talked about it all. We can't go into it anymore.
No.
We can't go into it anymore. Anyway, we're not even here to talk about Heartstopper.
Go on, Ellie.
Yeah. We're actually here to talk about Season 3, Episode 5 of Young Royals. I'm so excited. This is the penultimate ever episode of Young Royals, and I want to get to the end of it so I can ask you what you think for the going into the final episode. But we can't do that now. Now, we just need to talk about the first half of this episode. Let's start off, in fact, by going through a synopsis of what is coming up in this episode. Remember, if you haven't watched it, oh my goodness, and we've been here for nearly 3 years, so I don't know why I'm still saying this, but if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. Come back, because we are going to spoil everything for you. Here is your synopsis then. Wilhelm wonders if his deceased brother Erik would have liked him. It makes me chuckle when I say Erik. I know it's stupid, like Cameron Diaz saying Filipino, but do you know what I mean?
I grew up with a lot of Filipinos.
Yeah.
Lupia.
But it just makes me laugh and makes me happy saying it like that. My best friend growing up was Filipino.
She's from the Philippines. Yeah, she's a Filipino.
Yeah.
Grew up in Lumpia.
So anyway, Sarah's father, Moyka, is supposed to take her to her driving test, but he lets her down. He lets us all down. But most of all, he lets himself down. I'm so tired, I've lost it. Simon attends Wilhelm's 17th birthday celebration, if you can call it that.
Yeah.
The third years celebrate their graduation, waited on by the first years. August and Sarah appear to reconcile. Simon makes a decision regarding his relationship with Wilhelm. Oh, I can't cope. I can't cope already. Let's get into it. The start really threw me. Clunking door. Plastic curtains. I've watched too many horror movies. It was like they're going into an abattoir. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was up with that?
I couldn't tell you.
And I can't even remember where... Oh! So it was Villa going into the palace, but not the royal palace, the like trashy old warehouse that he used to go, wasn't it?
Was that real? Was that a real sequence, or was that like a dream sequence?
I'm not
I feel like it was
sure.
it wasn't clear.
I'm not sure.
Because I thought it was a dream sequence at first, but then they never made that particularly obvious.
No, so he was investigating like this trashed out room. There's been a party, there are broken champagne glasses and stuff like that. And there were voiceovers playing out the initiation scene that's been described to us that August and Niels were subjected to. And yeah, I was like, is he dreaming this setup, or is he actually in that room, which has been left a mess?
For 3 years.
But then, well, no, because they've had lots of parties in there.
True. I just thought, like, is this a time... Did this party happen and then they just didn't touch it for 3 years?
Yeah.
Because why is it so skanky?
It's the Chernobyl of initiations. Yeah, but the voiceovers, it was really hard to tell. I wasn't sure. If anyone can shed any light on that, please do, because I was as confused as you. Either way, he can't cope with the thought of what went on, and then he has some kind of little panic attack as August's words, Erik was there, are like ringing around in his head. And now, I'm going to say this now, so to save me saying it later in the episode. I'm not sure I fully understand the magnitude of his response.
Explain.
Get that Erik meant a lot to him. I get that he idolised him. I get that he's devastated about the fact that he's not with him anymore. But it just seems a very big response. But then actually, now I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking into later in the episode.
Yeah.
And I might be about to answer my own question later on. Not even my own question. I might shut myself up later.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm going to say exactly what you're thinking.
Yeah, so ignore that. I don't know why I said it. Ellie told me to say that. Ellie, you're obviously wrong. So, and
That's why we've not had a peep from you all day.
Yeah, and we'll explain why you're wrong later. So there. We go to class. There's a presentation by Henry and Walter about something to do with George W. Bush. I really want to know what their presentation about George W. Bush is, or W as they
What was
call
some
him.
kind of debate? Because it felt like
I thought it was a debate, but at the end of it, I was like, I think they're actually presenting something they're like on the same side. I think they're just sort of posing hypothetical questions as part of their presentation.
I found it interesting. I used to like stuff like that at school where it was more presentation based.
Yeah,
I learned better that way.
I feel like we have completely not forgotten about George W. Bush. Yeah, I feel like we've forgotten about George W. Bush. I feel like Trump came along and suddenly we were all like, oh.
It's Trump and Obama.
Well, Bush wasn't that bad in hindsight, was he?
Yeah.
I've talked about the protests we went on. I went on when I was at school, so it was a big deal at the time. But I don't feel like we really give it much thought anymore. I wonder if British schools are teaching about W. And
I didn't learn about it.
And things. Well, no, you didn't, because it was current when you were at school.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, very recent past.
I remember we covered the 2008 election, Obama versus John McCain, because that's what was happening when I started secondary school.
Sure.
And then later... Oh no, or was that 2012? No, 2012, ignore me.
I don't know. I was very busy at that time doing other things.
We did both of his elections anyway, both the Obama ones.
Oh, good.
Because that was my school. I'm a bit younger than you gave me credit for there.
No, but I'm just saying...
Bush was the 90s, wasn't he?
No.
Or early 2000s?
Yes.
I was a toddler.
So, my point is, for kids now, it's history for them. It's like the time around they were born and stuff like that, isn't it?
Bruv.
But when you were at school, it had just happened. It'd be like going to school and having history lessons about David Cameron. It's like, it was only a few years ago. Oh, actually, that was 10 years ago. Because Brexit was 10 years ago, wasn't it?
Yep.
Damn, I've ruined myself. So like, kids going to school and learning about Boris Johnson. You know, it's like it's just happened. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, they're presenting about W. Villa's mind is elsewhere, and Simba, who's wearing a yellow shirt, not purple.
Yeah.
And I think this is key. I think, and I might be wrong, but looking back on it now, I don't think he wears purple at all in this episode.
No, he doesn't.
I think he only wears yellow, and that's interesting if we reflect, or if we look ahead to where the story...
Although it doesn't, other than this, doesn't all you wear is a suit.
We'll get to it. But yeah, Simba in his yellow shirt notices that Villa's kind of elsewhere, and he writes, Hurmodu, how are you? With a little heart. And Villa's like, oh, I'm just tired. But he's not just tired.
I'm just tired.
But yeah, so then I was also like, so is he daydreaming what we had just seen? Or has he been back there and reflected and now he's here? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We go to the lockers, and Simba's now asking Villa what to wear for his birthday. Is there a dress code? Things like that. Villa is going to wear a suit, which at this point, my initial instinct was, well, that doesn't really seem like Simba's vibe. And Villa's still distracted, especially when he then sees August. But again, he maintains that, oh, he's just tired, to Simba. The song Whiz by Coucou Chloe plays over the opening titles, and there's a lovely school life montage, and that's it. We're in Young Royals. We end the montage in Forest Ridge with August being called over by Vincent, who's all about these nominations for like class such and such, class baddie, and class diva, and class world champion wrestler. Oh my god, I've just named all the things I'm going to win.
Right.
Did you do those sorts of things when you were at school?
Not to that extent.
We did Most Likely To's.
I think they did that, but I wasn't really in the main crowd of people, and I didn't get a yearbook at the end, because my mum didn't want to buy it.
Oh.
So I never saw if I did get anything. But we had an end-of-year assembly, I remember, in primary school, and they gave away awards, only four awards, one for effort, one for achievement, one for something else, beginning with C, can't remember.
Chivalry.
It was along those lines. It was like a compassion.
Courtesy?
Maybe it was courtesy. And then there was like a big one. I don't remember exactly what it was for, but it was... I remember it as like a best student, but I know that's not what it was, because imagine a school doing that. You were the best student in the whole of your year group. But it was essentially that. It was like those first three that were specific lanes, and then there was a general award that only one person got every year. I got it.
Got what?
I got that big award.
And you don't even remember what it was?
In 2008. I've got it at home still. I can have a look at it and see what it says.
Do.
But I've got like I've got a plaque.
Sorry.
I've got the plaque with my name on it.
Imagine if it was the biggest student.
biggest fatty award of the year.
Oh, you were really thin then.
No, I wasn't.
Weren't you?
No, fat kid, fat teenager, then very skinny young adult.
That's when I first met you.
Yeah, and then fat again. If you wanna dance.
A bit slow, I get out of breath.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm very old.
Count
Everything
me
hurts.
out. I'm gonna sit.
I got the drama award, but I had to share it with my two friends, Fiona and Ella, and I've never quite gotten over that.
I think I was supposed to give the award back because I've got the names of every winner before me as well. So
That's bad.
I don't think I was supposed to give it back, but no one ever asked me to.
Fair.
So I've got the winners from 2000. No, actually, I think late 90s to 2008 is when I left primary school.
Oh, you'd have had the winners that won it when I was working there.
I'll get it out of the box and I'll send
Bring
it
it
to
next
it.
week.
Yeah, I'll bring it.
Bring it along.
I know where it is.
Yeah, I got the drama award, but then also in the yearbook, I think I got most likely to be Prime Minister, most likely to be in Hollywood, most likely to run away and join the circus. And I vibe with all of those things. I can see all of them for me. But yeah, they're doing the class ... and some of them are predictably gross. In particular, class import for if you are, and I'm quoting Vincent here, an immigrant or some hobo. And this just sums this guy up.
Yep.
He thinks it's funny, and then he turns around to a person of colour, Marwan, and says, Marwan thinks it's funny, and Marwan's just looking at him like, no. But Vincent doesn't even see that. He's just like,
no, he doesn't,
see,
he
it's
doesn't
hilarious. Everyone thinks it's funny. And I was sort of like, come on, Marwan, speak up a bit. But
Well, because he didn't say no, he literally just went, yeah.
yeah, but it was clear on his face that was
gosh,
no.
yeah.
But actually, he needs to just speak up. But then probably he's in that situation, he can't, because that's it was gross and I hated it. August points out that in light of what's just been going on in that place, maybe this isn't going to be the best idea. Because what if it gets out? And Vincent's like, oh no, it's all over. To quote him, we've won. So there's nothing to worry about. I want it all to blow up in his face. I really want him to be brought down.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
It would be lovely. Wouldn't it be nice if it came crashing down around his ears and then he cried? I just came up with that on the spot.
Wow.
Didn't I? August is like, well, I'm not playing this stupid game. I'm not even going to be at the party. I've got to be at Villa's birthday. And he's painting it out to be all lovely and it's this family thing and it's going to be really nice and it's very important, but we all know that's not the reality. He's such a liar. We then go across to Manor House where the girls are at lunch, including Sarah. She's back. I loved the house mistress's scarf. It reminded me of my little silk scarves that I like to wear.
I didn't notice the scarf.
And there's excitement about the third year dinner. The first years are going to serve because, once again, we've had the inspection, so...
Back to it.
Back to old times. And they're going to be split into 3 groups. This allows us to have 2 convenient points of exposition. We're told Stella is sick. What's up with that? I smell a rat.
Yes, because she was very quick to be like, oh, she's sick. Is she dead?
I smell a rat. Well, is that because she quit the show?
Maybe.
Why wasn't she in this episode, and why did they have to make an excuse for her not to be in the episode?
Because she's been murdered.
Or was the actress actually ill when they were filming this episode?
Maybe.
But something is up. There's a reason she's not around, and they're having to cover for it. This is not part of the script. Because if you're going to say, oh, she's sick, then we've got to see her sick. We've got to see her later, ill. But we don't see her. She's just not there. The actress was not there. What's up we at? And we're also told that Felice and Sarah are going to be in the same group. Goodness. How convenient. How handy for the story that this has just happened this way. You couldn't write it, could you? Frederica offers to switch with Felice so she can avoid Sarah, but Felice is like, it's fine.
It's fine because you actually want to be her friend again.
And Sarah is aware of this whole conversation going on.
Well, she is quite literally just a metre away, so...
Yeah, if that.
They could reach and, hold hands if they wanted.
Oh, yes. Frederica then turns her attention to how cute they'll look in the uniforms. Let's come back to this later.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Because when someone says to me, oh, we're going to look so cute in the uniforms, I have an image of what sort of uniform it might be. Mm-hmm. Like what sort of uniforms I expect might be quite cute. You know, like a nice little, like, Virgin Atlantic air stewardess outfit or something.
So lovely, so
you know,
chic.
something like that. And I know what uniforms I don't think are cute. And, we'll explore which side of the fence the uniforms I actually wear fall on. When we get there. And I feel that Maddie is just unimpressed by the lot. I get a vibe from her, like, she'd rather hope that everyone might have learned something from the ordeal that's just gone down. But no, here we are again. Back in this stupid hierarchical system where we have to serve people and wear stupid uniforms. We are then with Sarah as she returns home to Mika's, who's blasting some tunes while making lasagna and has even done a wash.
Wow.
And Sarah assumes that he must be on something. Do you think that's unkind of her to make that assumption?
I did at first, but then I have to keep reminding myself, like, no, he's been terrible. He to the point where his children didn't want to see him anymore.
You have
to remember that.
But recently, he's been making an effort.
Consistency
feels
is
like
key.
He's been trying to fix.
How long has it been though? It's not been that long. Has she been there like a month? 2 months? 3 at the max?
I think it's more like a couple of weeks, to be honest.
Well, this is what I mean. Like, anyone can be nice for a short period of time.
I can't. Rude. They're coming for me. They heard about me. They're coming. He says he's got some new medication.
Oh, I was going to say, she didn't need to say it like that. She could have been, like, apprehensively like, is everything okay? Why have you done that? Instead of be like, are you on something? Very presumptuous, you know?
Yeah, he's got some new medication. Sarah's worried that he can't take that kind of
medication.
Sex medication. Sarah's worried that he can't take that kind of medication, but I feel at this point like he seems really motivated to be able to actually be a proactive dad and a proactive member of society.
But I did think, is that because you're on these meds? Is that the reason you're so sad? Because he hasn't been this peppy prior.
No, but I feel like he's sought this medication to be able to put himself in that place.
Yeah.
That's what's proactive.
I don't know. Obviously, I'm more inclined to be like Sarah in these kinds of situations, since my dad is terrible.
Sarah just thinks herself a burden, but he says he's glad of it. And they're still focusing on her imminent driving test, and it feels good in this household at this point.
It does.
We go back to August. He's doing an evening tidy up, and he finds his future letter, but he can't bring himself to read it. So he goes and slips it into a locker. Now, I wrote here, I predict whose, but we'll come back to that. Because, spoiler alert, I predicted wrong. Whose locker did you think he was putting it in?
I assumed it was Sarah.
Did you?
Yeah, because he doesn't actually care about anybody else.
I thought he was putting it in villas.
No, I don't think he has bad intentions anymore. This whole season, he's had tunnel vision for Sarah.
Oh no, I didn't think he was putting it in villas for bad reasons. I thought he was putting it in villas to kind of, like, apologise or explain or make something up or... Yeah, but I thought he'd put it in villas. Speaking of villa, we go to villa looking at a photo of him and Erik. And then he phones his dad, the Duke, to check in about his mum, the Queen. And the dad's like, it is what it is. I mean, I've struggled with the Duke in this episode. I feel like he's making a really big effort, but I also feel like he won't actually take any meaningful steps forward. He's making a real effort, but it's all very superficial.
Yeah.
I find that frustrating. He does say the Queen's excited for Villa to come home at the weekend. Villa's like, I haven't spoken to her for a while, but the Duke says she's just trying to keep it from him because she finds it hard to show weakness. Yeah, we know that about her. But as we've said before, you're a parent. You've got responsibilities, Queenie. Villa asks if Erik had weaknesses, and the Duke says what we're all thinking. Yeah, everybody does. But then he's like, it's hard to remember Erik's because he was so exuberant and he didn't have that darkness inside him. And I'm like, I get where you're trying to go with this, but is that the most helpful way of presenting things? When you've got your son who clearly is struggling with mental health and has done for a while, and your wife who is struggling with mental health, like, is that just down to such a clumsy way of talking because you don't want to get into the actual depth of the situation? Like, you're trying to present everything in a very, like, light, airy kind of way.
A very like what way?
That you then just everything you say is a bit clumsy and wrong. And actually, if you just had a serious and deep conversation about it, then you could talk about it correctly. I get that the Duke is a grieving father, but again, I find it really unhelpful when he says everyone saw him as perfect and he really was perfect. That's, again, not a helpful thing to say to your son, who already knows that he's not viewed as perfect.
Yeah.
Or he feels like he's always living in Eric's shadow and being compared to him. Like, you're just not being helpful. And you could have these sorts of conversations in a way that is more helpful, again, by just getting into it properly and constructively. It's just sort it out. Villa's about to bring up what he's been told about the initiation, but then the Duke is distracted by someone coming in, so he's got to go. But he's looking forward to celebrating with Villa at the weekend and meeting Simmer. I thought that was good of him to throw that in.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like positive, off they go, but actually Villa's just left with a little tear rolling down his cheek, and didn't he act that well?
I thought that too.
That little one tear.
That was very movie tear.
That was very Streep.
Very Streep.
Then his phone buzzes again, and this time it's Simmer, and he doesn't answer.
I think that's okay. He was emotional, and I think he just wanted to be alone, which I think it's fine. You have to answer the phone every time your partner calls you.
No, you don't.
And he didn't get what he wanted out of that conversation with his dad, so he's probably just a bit overwhelmed.
Yeah. You can't just bounce from a conversation like that into another conversation.
Exactly.
Simmer is on his bed looking concerned. Villa is on his bed looking sad. It's sad. I feel sad.
Me too.
Were you concerned for Vilmon at this point? Or were you like, that's fine?
I wasn't concerned for Vilmon, but I feel like I've been saying it the whole time. It's just, I just think they're too different a lot of the time. But I was willing to give them the benefit of the doubt that, they could work through all of it.
We then go to choir practice, I'm assuming the next day. Simmer again in yellow. And not next to Villa.
Yeah, I noticed that too. In fact, not next to him. Opposite ends.
A few people down, yeah. Villa is in blue, and because I've been rewatching Heartstopper and re-listening to the podcast, I was like, ooh, yellow and blue. And then after practice, they're still in the music room, which is also kind of yellow and blue, actually. I started seeing it everywhere already. And Villa says he's going to quit the choir because he doesn't feel comfortable performing in front of people. I mean, we knew he didn't, but that sort of wasn't the point of him being in the choir. I was worrying, and I was saying to Villa, don't start taking all of this out on Simmer or pulling away from him after everything you've been through to get to this point, actually. He says there aren't any restrictions anymore, so, I can see you whenever. I don't actually have to be in the choir, which is, okay.
Fair
enough.
No, that annoyed me because I'm like, that's not actually the reason though, is it? Let's be honest.
No, it's not.
That's not the reason. You're pulling away.
Well, and then it only works, him saying that only works if they actually spend time with each other elsewhere, and that's a word I've made up, but I like it. But I'm not convinced that he's going to be doing that either, and that's exactly the problem that you're talking about, yeah. And Simmer's no fool on this occasion. Because he is like, can you just be honest and tell me if I've done something? He feels like Villa's making him feel like he's being difficult for asking about his birthday, but he's just doing it for Villa's sake to try and get it wrong, and that's perfectly fair.
Yeah,
I think.
So.
It's actually nice to see Simmer kind of not just thinking about himself.
Yeah. He's actually, in this episode in general, he's so courteous.
Yeah. He won me back over.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
I remembered that I loved him again, and that's why I named my car after him. And
it only feels like Simon's been moving forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
While Villa steps back. Frustrating. Villa says it's not that. Okay, sure. But what is it? Simmer wants to understand what it is. So Villa does begin to open up that it's about Eric and the initiation. And Simmer, right, we're going to get into this. I'm going to talk through the scene and then we'll give opinions. Okay?
Yeah.
Villa tells him about Eric and the initiation. Simmer listens, but Villa jumps on him and says that Simmer shouldn't be judging him. He's like, you're thinking he's a homophobe, that he didn't stand up for the weak, he wouldn't have liked that I'm with you, or he hadn't liked who I am. And I'm like, Simmer didn't say that. We all know who's thinking those things, and it ain't Simmer, actually. Simmer tries to put it all in perspective for Villa, that maybe Eric was like just going along with things rather than actually holding those views. And he draws on his recent experience with Sarah, and he says, I think you just maybe need to get used to the idea that Eric wasn't perfect. And then Villa jumps on him again and is like, you've got no right to compare Eric to Sarah. And then he storms out. What do you think of this scene?
Villa, enough. He was so horrible for no reason. I get that his worldview has been shattered by this revelation. You do not have the right to treat anybody like that. It just really gave me the ick. I would have, if that was me, I'd have been like, do you know what, I don't think this is going to work.
Yeah, so, from a character point of view, yeah, furious with Villa. After all of the growth that he's done over these seasons, after how far he's come, after how considerate he's been of Simmer, I was really cross with him just basically throwing it all in the bin and behaving like this. Really unnecessary, really unkind. Didn't like it. But let's stop thinking of them as real people and start thinking of them as characters that have been written. I was cross with the writers because it feels like they have just crowbarred this scene in to create a bit of conflict to lead us into the end of this season. Kind of out of nowhere. I felt like it was lazy and unnecessary, and I feel like it's undoing all of the work that they did in building Villa as this character. And I thought that was a real shame, and I don't feel like it was the right choice.
Interesting. I don't feel that way. Only because sometimes because obviously the whole point of this scene was that the things that Villa was saying to Simon, that he said that Simon was thinking, were the things that Villa is thinking instead. And he was getting his back up and defensive. And sometimes when you do that as a person, some old habits do jump out that maybe you'll later reflect on and think, I can't believe I did that again. I need to stop it. I kind of get that this scene does feel like it's out of nowhere, but also it is the sort of thing you should be telling your partner about and having a discussion about, which is where I thought it was going, and that Villa was going to lean on Simon a bit, but obviously not. He just wanted someone to lash out on. So I don't know. It doesn't feel completely unnecessary, and I think it provides a little bit more context for what's to come.
Yeah, but I'm going to have issues with that too.
I thought you might.
We go to Sarah at the lockers. Simmer is there. Sarah tries to engage with a very visibly upset Simmer, but he's not letting her. Sarah opens her locker and a letter falls out. It's August's. So yes, not the locker I thought it was going to be. But, I have written here, but on reflection, my first thought, Villa's locker, was utterly stupid. Why would you put it in there? Interesting that she doesn't read it.
Yeah, again, but I think it's because she's just trying to move forward without these people. She made it very clear she wants nothing to do with him, so what good would reading it do?
Yeah, and also the last time that she was let into August's secrets.
Look what happened. Yeah.
It blew all up in her face.
But we'll get into that.
Then she's outside, she's trying to phone her dad, who's not turned up to take her for a driving test, and...
Oh, here we go.
This is disappointing. She's repeatedly calling him, but he's not coming,
over the course of 30 minutes, how many times did she call him? A little bit overkill, in my opinion.
No, I would have been like that, because I've got to get to my driving test, and you're supposed to be here now.
Yeah, but he's not answering. He's not going to answer because you keep calling. You call once, you give it some time. If he doesn't turn up, you leave and say, I've left.
With the hand and everything. I've left.
Yeah, I put up a palm, the emoji.
Yeah.
Or the mid-finger one.
Oh. I do a shrug. I'd be like, I've left. What do you want from me? I've left. So she sets off running. Running. Now, I was a little confused by this. So, she had half an hour. She couldn't get the bus because the bus isn't going to be there for 20 minutes. So at what point did she set off running? Because it must have been before the bus was due to arrive.
In my head, she called her dad like 5 times back to back over the course of 5, maybe 10 minutes, and then left. Because she couldn't have waited the full 30 minutes because, yes, you would have been late.
Yes, she could have got the bus. I was a bit confused.
Although as soon as I saw her standing at the gate, I was like, I know what's happening now.
Yeah.
Although I expected her to just stand there and wait and for her to miss the test.
Yeah, do you know what? All credit to her for getting her jog on.
Yeah.
We go to Villa having some time with Felice. The song Lonely by Moyka is playing, which, again, I'm in a Heartstopper mode. It feels like a blend of Young Royals and Heartstopper music.
Yeah.
I liked it.
This felt very Tara and Nick Yeah.
He's opened up to her, and she's grateful because she wants to know... I've written words and I don't understand what they mean. I said she's grateful as she wants to know what's true and not in it all.
Oh, that was in regards to the scandal and Eric. He told her about Eric being involved.
Yeah, but what does not in it all mean?
Within the whole scandal. Let's word for word have what she said. That's just what she said.
Oh, I don't really understand what it means. But she does. She wants to know what's true. She's also trying to help him to see Simma's response for what it is. Thanks, Felice. You're the hero we need. Villa's conversation helps us to see that really his response is down to two things. Number one, Simma never met Eric, so his only perception will be what he's heard. And therefore Villa is making a big assumption and imposing his own doubts now on Simma. Because he's like, well, Simma won't know anything other than this, so he'll make these assumptions. Which I can see where he's coming from, but you can't just make that assumption. And if you are worried about that, don't just get cross at Simma for thinking that. Show him the other side of the story.
Yeah.
And the other part of his response is down to his own feelings of betrayal and being let down and the doubt that he would maybe not have been accepted by the person who mattered the most to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's, yeah. You took the words out of my mouth.
That's what it's all about.
He's worried that his brother wouldn't have loved him anymore, which is something so many queer people have to go through, so I understood his emotion.
Yeah.
But I still don't agree with how he's acting.
And usually we get our closure by finding out conclusively either way. Either being told, oh no, I was just making a silly big deal over nothing, of course they love me. Or, oh no, they don't, but at least now I know. But he's never going to get that closure. He can only hypothesise because Eric's not around. To confirm either way.
Maybe this is just the way I'm wired, but I don't think that's a big deal. I really don't think that's a big deal. So he's never going to know. Okay. That also means you'll never have to know if you would have been disappointed either. I find peace knowing that my loved one, like for instance my granddad, I wasn't non-binary before he died, but I take comfort knowing that he loved me as he knew me. And just because me as I am. Well, just because something about me has changed, it doesn't
changed with
Shut up. You do this every time I speak.
And every time we touch, I get the feeling.
I can never get through a thought here. Are you done?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, India. Thank you, Tara.
Okay, moving on. Moving on.
I'm moving on up now.
Okay, moving on.
No, finish it.
It makes me lose
important. It's about your granddad.
But it makes me lose track, and I don't know where I am anymore. I find it very distracting.
I don't know where any of us are.
Yeah. I'm completely lost on where I was now, so let's just move on.
They're so cross with me. They are livid.
I'll get over it.
They won't.
No, I'm going to resent you forever.
You already do, so... I kind of get where he's coming from. I don't like to tear myself up about things, but... There are times when I think, not necessarily about... So my dad, knew who I was, really.
Yeah.
But I do think about what would he think about... what would he think about me doing wrestling, for example? I feel like I know how he'd respond. I feel like he'd be really excited for me because I love it and proud of me for doing it. But he might just think it's really stupid or that I'm taking a big risk. Or I think about, what would he think about me giving up on acting and ending up going into teaching? Or what would he think about this? Or what would he think about that? What would he think about the fact that I'm terrible with money? I do think about these things, and I do wonder if... I know that he would always love me and be proud of me. I know that. But I do wonder which parts he wouldn't like so much, or which parts he'd have something to say about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that goes for anybody, any person living or dead.
Yeah.
And people are never usually honest with you anyway if they feel certain ways about...
That's true. But you've got to remember, this is a 16-year-old boy. This is him unexpectedly dealing with being confronted with his sexuality or just love for someone he didn't expect to from the only person that he actually kind of felt he had any kind of connection with.
Yeah. Again, that's how I felt with my granddad. He was the one person that got me. It doesn't bring me any negativity knowing that he might not have understood the person I am right now. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't change the connection that I had with him. It doesn't change the way we were together. And just like it doesn't for Villa and Eric.
Okay.
You don't get any more time So why waste... This is just the way I think. So why waste time getting upset about scenarios that are not... They're just not going to happen. You can't know.
No.
And I think that's comforting. I feel like that's pressure taken off.
I don't deal well with not knowing.
That's fine. I think it's just sometimes some things are just the way you're wired.
This is a weird tangent, but when I was in secondary school, we had to do this whole project about the assassination of JFK and looking at all the different possibilities. And I twisted myself up inside over the fact that I would never get a conclusive answer. I can't deal with that. I need to know. I can't deal with not knowing. Don't like it. Anyway, Felice is sure that Eric would have accepted him. I feel like he would as well. But none of us really know him that well. Who knows? Villa wants to change the subject, so they go on to picking nail colours, and he goes for purple, which, like, it has a meaning in the world of Young Royals, sure. But what did you feel about the colour purple that you picked?
It was not the kind of purple I enjoy. It was too light, very pastel.
It was quite neon, I thought, like a neon purple.
Yeah, but it was a pastel, but it was very in your face.
I like pastels, but
I was just confused why he was letting her paint his nails in the first place. I didn't remember him ever expressing any sort of interest.
Sometimes it's just nice.
I guess so.
I'm so looking forward to getting my nails done in the summer holidays.
Me too. I've decided I'm gonna wait until just before I go to London to get mine done.
I'm going to book it for the first day of the summer holidays.
Excited for you.
It's just been so long since I've had some pretty nails on. Sarah has made it to the test centre. She, emerges from a bush. I don't know if she does, but in my head she emerges from a bush.
Like Homer Simpson.
Yeah, exactly.
Meme. Yeah.
It's full of lovely Volvos. It's what you'd expect in Sweden, isn't it?
Sorry, it's full of
Volvos. They're a car. The examiner is not impressed, but she does seem to have made it just in time. I was expecting her to have been too late and to miss out. But no, she's made it just in time. So she gets to go off on her test and she's doing okay until she gets distracted because, and this made me actually swear at the TV, she spots Moyka sitting with his mates drinking a beer.
This somehow was so much worse than what I was expecting.
Yeah, you've made a commitment to family. You can't just be like, oh, I forgot.
You aired your daughter to go drinking with your mates, which you're not supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think she underreacted after the fact as well, but we'll get to that.
I actually felt sorry for her.
I was gutted for her, yeah.
Mm.
She's been trying so hard. And you could tell as well when she had that conversation with him in the last scene. She had a little smile on her face at the end, and you could see her mentality towards him had just started to shift.
But also me too.
Yeah, we were all going through it with her.
We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
I really was rooting for him. I was really hoping that he was going to really show up and show out for her, but
no. We go to Simmer's. He's trying on a suit. Linda says it fits perfectly. I'm like,
does it?
Looks a bit big to me.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Maybe that's just the style these days. So it looks like you're wearing, when a kid has to wear their dad's suit.
It just looked like he needed a bit more muscle mass to pull that suit off.
He's not happy. He's not even sure if he's going to go to the party after the fight that he had with Villa. He feels like everything he does turns out wrong. Linda says that he's not doing anything wrong, and on this occasion she is right.
Yes, she is.
In the past, not necessarily. But this time round, he actually hasn't done anything wrong. So she tries to put it into perspective. She thinks Villa is wonderful.
I like that she said that too, because I think it's so easy for your parents to start trashing your partner as soon as things start to get a bit difficult.
Mm.
They switch, and she didn't do that. She's like, he's still a lovely man.
He's wonderful, but his life and situation is what it is, and love shouldn't be this hard, especially when you're young.
Yeah.
But love was that hard when I was that young.
But also, solid advice, Linda. But you don't have any context as to what the situation is. They could have been fighting about spaghetti for all you know. It could have been something, the most ridiculous petty fight ever, that you would have told someone to get over.
Yes, but she has been to the palace for illegal mediation and...
True. I mean, the odds are it's something important.
She has had a rock thrown through her window, and she has had her son trolled online and in the national press.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Like,
fair enough.
It doesn't matter what the argument was about, because love shouldn't be that hard. And when I say love was that hard when I was that age, I wasn't going through all that stuff. But we were very up and down and tumultuous and arguing, and we'd break up and go back together and break up and get back together.
Oh, you were that couple, yeah.
I think a lot of people are at that age.
I never was, but I was never tied down.
Okay, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just a problem.
No, I was just a bit of a slag. Cheryl listening right now can attest to that. I can feel her nodding with us right now. Yeah.
He reflects on all of that for a moment until suddenly their attention is drawn to the sound of the front door rattling, and he goes to investigate. I'm like, it's an attack. It's a homophobic attack. No, it's not. It's just Sarah coming home. She's coming home. She's coming home. She's coming. Sarah's coming home.
That's the straightest thing you've ever done.
She passed her test. But she's also devastated about Moyka. Oh. And there's finally the little reconciliation between them as she sobs and apologises, and he forgives her.
I was crying during this scene. I was crying, yeah. She acted this brilliantly.
Yeah.
I really, my heart bled.
I would have been crying except for Linda.
Oh!
Linda, right. There's a noise coming from the front door. She lets her son, who has been the victim of all this stuff, go out first.
Very good point.
And just hangs back in the bedroom. Doesn't even come out with him or immediately behind him. Like, a good 5 seconds later. She comes out when she feels it's safe for her. And then just, like, latches onto the end of the hug. She doesn't even get in with her kid. She's just, like, tacked on, like, the spare wheel. Good grief, Linda. But, you know, it's a nice moment, sure.
I do think she ruined it.
We go back to Villa. He's on his bed texting, I'm sorry. I really want you to be there tomorrow. But it's okay if you changed your mind.
Why was it all in caps?
He always does. I find it so
I'm
aggressive.
sorry! That's how I read that sort of stuff.
It's so aggressive.
I want you there tomorrow, but if you don't want to come, I understand!
And I've also written immediately after that, I hate his purple nails.
It completely washes him out.
They were the wrong colour for him.
Yeah.
Wrong colour.
He's too yellow for purple.
He could have done with a nice navy blue. That would have worked.
Yeah, he suits a darker colour.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But I am glad he texted that text. That was an important thing for him to do.
Yes. Just stop texting in cap blocks. It's weird.
He's done it all 3 seasons.
I've never noticed before.
There's a knock at the door. No, actually, I'll tell you what, bruv. He doesn't text in capital letters, it's the subtitles. The subtitles do it in capital letters to show that it's not talking. But actually, if you see when it's written on the screen, it's not all in caps. It's true, I'm telling the truth.
Okay.
There's a knock at the door. It's Morlin dropping off his birthday suit. I didn't realise I'd written it like that until I was in the middle of saying it. Dropping off the suit for his birthday.
Answer the door. Hello, Jill!
Look, you're bad at your job, but this is crossing the line. Yeah. You've gone from not keeping him safe to actively becoming a danger. He takes it inside, he goes in, and then he's having a moment and he thinks about what I guess the painted nails might represent, and so he removes the polish and gets all reflective. And I'm sad that he's removing the polish because of the events he's got coming up, but I'm happy that he's removing it just because it's bad.
Yeah, it's a shame that he's removing it because he can't express himself at his own birthday.
Yes, but he has got, as we learn, he has got a formal event to attend first.
Which I hate. Imagine just doing that on your birthday.
And also, I can't really comment, because like I said, it's been months since I had my nails done, because I started a new job and I was like, I can't start a new job with my nails done. I've got to present a certain way. So I've done the same thing. It's the next morning, and they're all setting up for the third year meal, and the first years are not dressed as cute Virgin Atlantic air stewardesses. They're dressed as if they're a Michelin-starred catering team. And those outfits are not cute at all. They look like they're on Bake Off the Professionals.
Yeah, I see that.
Why were you getting excited about that? Why do you think you're going to look cute with that? You borderline... I expect to see them all with a pair of, like, Crocs or ugly clogs on, like they do on Bake Off the Professionals. Yeah, no, it's not a look. It's not a good look. We then go to Simma coming into Villa's room to wake him up with the Spanish happy birthday song, not that crazy Swedish one from before about being like 100 years old or whatever. And he's got a little muffin with a 1 and a 7 candle on. And then we got a better shot of him. And I was like, don't tell me he's going to wear that suit jacket with those pyjama bottom looking trousers. Why does he like wearing trousers that look like pyjamas?
I don't know. It's quite trendy though.
Is it? Is it really a style?
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm seeing people wearing that.
I feel like that sort of thing only works if those trousers are going to be flared, you know?
I don't think it
Make
works
them more,
at all.
You have to make them more of a statement and everything else has to be in unison.
I think I'm just maybe completely out of touch because I just look at it and
Style
I'm like,
is subjective.
bad. It's just bad. It's bad.
I didn't like it either. I thought, I agree, it looked like
this
pyjama
is like
bottoms.
the 3rd or 4th time we've seen him wear pyjama-looking trousers.
Simon just doesn't have good taste.
I don't think he does.
And that's okay.
But I think he thinks he's really edgy.
He always thinks he's eating, yeah.
He thinks that he's like at the Met Gala.
Yeah.
He's looking around and going, no one in Björstad has real style. Only me. I'm so Hollywood.
I'm single-handedly saving this bathwater town. Yeah.
Bathwater?
Yeah.
Backwater?
No, it's the SpongeBob thing. It's the SpongeBob version of that.
Okay.
You may have fooled everybody else in this bathwater town, but you can't fool me. I listen to public radio.
Okay. And he says he bribed Morlin because if you don't have someone who sings for you in the morning, it doesn't feel like a real birthday, and he needs to wait till he's nearly 40 living on his own. Because you can't say things like that because it's really depressing. It's true. Really depressing. Villa makes a wish as he blows out the candles, but all I could think of was, morning breath.
Thank you. Thank you. Because Simon was right there, and I would have had to hold my breath while he did it.
We've talked before about my issues with morning breath. Mm-hmm. Can't deal with it. And also, the way he blows them out is a really like directed jet of air.
Yeah.
Almost like he's whistling at them. I was like, ugh. And that's gonna be really strong. You can almost see the green smoke coming out. Do you know
I
what
hope
mean?
my ugliness doesn't affect you. That's the noise his breath makes.
Yes. Yeah, and it burns.
Duh!
It's like a spell in Dragon Age.
No, Baldur's Gate. Ignis! Ray of sickness.
Yes. At least Villa likes the suit, so that's good, I suppose.
Great.
And he wants to know if everything's good between them, and Simmer says yes and thanks him for the text. And then it's present time, and I was like, oh, I'm really intrigued to see what he actually got him. And then, it's just a sandwich. But he says he's going to give him a real present soon, he just hasn't had time to finish it. Simmer, mate, you knew it was his birthday. You knew when that birthday was happening. Like, you've got to set yourself deadlines and work to them. You can't go, do you know what, I've been working on a birthday present, but your birthday just snuck up on me and I haven't finished it. That's not okay, is it?
No.
And I am really intrigued to see what it is that he made for him. But at the moment, Villa's happy, and we're going to have to wait to find out more.
Oh my goodness.
We're going to leave it there. Pretend you don't know what's coming in the second half of this episode. What are your thoughts and feelings right now?
At the moment, at this point, I'm really enjoying the build-up of the episode.
Who's build up?
Carpenter. I'm looking forward to seeing the Queen.
Okay, cool. Thanks for sharing. I am looking forward to the second half of this episode because I've got a lot to say. I think we're all going to have a lot to say.
Yeah.
As we get into the very final stages of Young Royals. I can't believe we're nearly at the end of it.
That's wild.
We're nearly at the end of Heartstopper. We're nearly at the end of Young Royals. There's a lot going on. Oh, I can't cope.
And then there'll be nothing.
Or there'll be something.
There'll be nothing forever.
No, we've got plans for what might come next.
That's right. You're right. Yeah, of course. Yes.
But that's to come. That is to come. As is the second half of episode 5 of season 3 of Young Royals. If you've got anything to add to the conversation, you know where to find us. We're on Insta at Heartstopper Podcast. We've got our Facebook group. We'll be back next week. We take a little break from Young Royals to talk Heartstopper. It's a whole thing. You've got to bear with us, but, we must prioritise Heartstopper.
Of course.
We must. So, yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait for Heartstopper Forever. We will see you there. In the meantime, take care, stay safe, and goodbye.
Don't stop, go, get it, get it.